They say evil hides best behind good intentions. That the most dangerous monsters aren't the ones who live in shadows, but the ones who stand beneath a cross, smiling. In a town that believed faith could cure anything, one man used it to destroy everything. This is the story of Pastor Daniel Reeves, and the church that refused to see what was right in front of them. Maple Hollow, Tennessee. Population, just under 2,000. The kind of place where everyone waved, front doors stayed unlocked, and Sunday service was the heartbeat of the week. At the center of it all stood the First Baptist Church, a white wooden building with a rusted bell tower, surrounded by maple trees and the scent of fresh-cut grass. For nearly 2 decades, Pastor Daniel Reeves was the man everyone trusted. He baptized their children, blessed their weddings, comforted their dying. He had a way of speaking that could make a person cry, laugh, and believe, all within a single sermon. He was respected, admired, untouchable. But beneath that calm, reassuring voice was a secret that had been festering for years, one that would tear Maple Hollow apart and leave an entire congregation wondering how they had let a predator live among them. The first signs came quietly. In 2012, a teenage girl named Mara Whitfield stopped attending youth group. She had always been outgoing, singing in the choir, volunteering at the food drive, but suddenly, she withdrew completely. When friends asked why, she shrugged. "Just tired of church," she'd say. Her mother noticed the change too. Mara flinched when touched, jumped at sudden noises, and refused to be alone with Pastor Reeves. When her mother asked if something had happened, Mara would only whisper, "Mom, you wouldn't believe me." Like most small towns, gossip spread fast. But when it came to the church, people tread carefully. Pastor Reeves wasn't just a preacher, he was the glue holding the community together. To accuse him was to accuse Maple Hollow itself. So no one asked questions. And Reeves knew that. He began visiting families more often, offering private counseling sessions for troubled teens, promising to pray away their darkness. Some parents even thanked him for taking such an interest. But in the shadows of his office, behind the heavy oak door and stained glass windows, those moments of faith turned into something far darker. On the evening of May 16, 2014, a storm rolled through Maple Hollow. Lightning flashed over the church steeple as the youth choir finished rehearsal. Reeves offered to drive one of the girls, Emily Carter, home, a 15-year-old soprano with a shy smile and a love for music. She never made it home that night. When Emily's mother called the pastor, he said he'd dropped her off around 8, and that she'd probably gone to a friend's house. By midnight, panic set in. Police were called. Search parties organized. The entire town combed through woods and ditches, praying she was safe. 2 days later, Emily's backpack was found behind the church dumpster, her journal still inside, soaked with rain. In the back pages, written in shaky handwriting, were words that would freeze investigators in place. "He says I'm special. He says God won't be angry." At first, no one wanted to believe it. The sheriff's office hesitated to even question Reeves. He was, after all, the man who'd led every town vigil, every prayer after tragedy. But the journal forced their hand. Detectives quietly obtained a warrant to search his office, and what they found inside changed everything. Hidden behind a false panel in his desk drawer were dozens of old cassette tapes, each labeled with a date and a girl's initials. Next to them, a small Polaroid camera and a box of photographs. What was once the pastor's office, the safe place for confession and comfort, was suddenly a crime scene. Audio technicians would later describe the tapes as the most disturbing evidence they'd ever handled. They documented years of abuse, manipulation, and the exploitation of trust, all recorded under the guise of prayer. When confronted, Reeves denied everything. He claimed the tapes were spiritual counseling sessions and that the photographs were taken for youth group projects. But the evidence told a different story. One photo in particular, time-stamped 3 months before Emily's disappearance, showed her sitting in his study, visibly uncomfortable, her eyes darting toward the door. As the investigation unfolded, more victims came forward. Mara Whitfield, 2 sisters from the choir, a young woman who had since moved 3 states away. Each story echoed the same horrifying pattern: isolation, manipulation, and the weaponization of faith. Reeves used scripture like a scalpel. He'd quote verses about obedience, purity, and forgiveness, twisting them until they justified his control. And for years, no one questioned him. Detective Carla Jennings, who led the case, described it simply. He built a cage out of trust and then locked his victims inside it. The trial began in June 2015 under intense media scrutiny. By then, the town had split in two. Half refused to believe the charges. The other half couldn't look at the church the same way again. Inside the courtroom, Reeves sat stone-faced. He showed no reaction as one victim after another took the stand, recounting what he'd done, their voices trembling, their families weeping in the gallery. The prosecution played excerpts from the tapes. Even the judge asked to recess after one of them. The silence that followed was the kind that never truly ends. On August 12, 2015, after just 4 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a unanimous verdict: guilty on all counts. Daniel Reeves was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. In the months that followed, First Baptist Church was closed indefinitely. Its doors boarded up, its bell silenced. The congregation scattered, some to other towns, some abandoning faith entirely. Emily Carter's body was never found. But her mother keeps the journal, its pages worn and water-stained, as a reminder that truth can survive, even when justice feels incomplete. Maple Hollow would never recover its innocence. 4 years, the church stood empty, its white paint peeling, the wind whistling through broken windows. Locals say they still hear the faint echo of a piano inside on quiet nights, the same hymn Emily used to sing before service. Trust is a fragile thing. We build it carefully, in families, in faith, in the people we look up to. But sometimes, the very hands that bless us are the ones that break us. Pastor Daniel Reeves didn't just steal innocence, he shattered the illusion that evil is always easy to see. Because in Maple Hollow, evil didn't wear a mask. It wore a collar. So the question remains, when faith blinds us to the truth, are we victims of deception, or of our own refusal to see? Thank you for watching. I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, was Maple Hollow a victim of their faith, or their refusal to see? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more untold stories, and make sure you click the notification bell so you don't miss our next case.